I am Halige Lingappa, Assistant Professor in Physics, Government Postgrad College, Siriguppa. So now we are going to discuss about Fresnel's baptism, both theory and experiment, which is under the chapter Interference of Light. So, Fresnel's baptism. Fresnel used to baptism to show the phenomenon of interference of light to determine the wavelength of the given light source and also to determine the refractive index of the medium. So, baptism. An optical device used to obtain interference pattern. Then what about the construction and the working of biprism? A biprism is essentially a combination of two acute angled glass prism are placed base to base. So the biprism which consists of two acute angled glass prism. So they are placed base to base. The refracting angle of each prism being the same. In actual practice, prism is prepared from a single optical glass plate by suitable grinding and polishing. So that means how the biprism which can be made by using glass plate. So now you see the diagram where are double slits. The light from the double slit S1 and S2 is made to incident on. So look here where the monochromatic light is made to incident on the single slit S. Then the light emerging from the single slit is made to incident on the biprism. So after passing through the biprism, the rays they are emerging from the biprism are incident on the screen. Then we're forming the alternating bright and dark fringes. Here S1 and S2 both they behave as the coherent waves, coherent sources. They are virtual sources. So the action of biprism is shown in the above figure. Interference is observed by the division of wavefront. Monochromatic light through a narrow slit S falls on biprism, which divides it into two components. One of these components is refracted from the upper portion of the biprism and they appears to come from S1, where the other one refracted through lower portion and appears to come from S2, where S1 and S2 acts as two virtual coherent sources formed from the original source. Light waves arising from S1 and S2 interfere in the shaded region and the interference fringes are formed which can be observed on the screen. So look here. Just to see the diagram, the monochromatic light is made incident on the slit S. The light from the source slit is made to incident on the biprism. The incident light which undergoes refraction. So, the upper portion of the prism, the rays refracted at the upper portion of the biprism appears to diverging from the source S1. So at the lower surface of the lower portion of the biprism, the refracted rays appears to be diverging from the source S2. So here S1 and S2 both they acts as the virtual coherent sources. Then the refracted rays from the biprism made to incident on the screen. Then we will get alternating bright and dark fringes on the screen, so called interference pattern. So then experimental arrangement. In the experimental arrangement, the adjustable illustrated slit, biprism and eyepiece are arranged at the same height on the optical bench in the same straight line. So here illuminated slit, biprism and eyepiece, all they are arranged at the same height along the same straight line on the optical bench. The slit is made narrow and adjusted parallel to the edge of the biprism. This is necessary in order to obtain sharp and wide fringes. So here the illustrated slit is made narrow and adjusted parallel to the edge of the biprism. Then we will get a sharp and wide fringes on the screen. So behind the region EF, fine and widely spaced bands are obtained which are due to interference. So there is determination of wavelength of light. The wavelength lambda of light can be determined by the following formula. Lambda is equal to beta d by d. Lambda wavelength of light used. Beta width, fringe width. So where d, small d, distance between two virtual sources S1 and S2. Where a capital D, the distance between the source slits and the screen. So where lambda is equal to beta d by d. So then determine the wavelength of light. The following measurement are made. So first one, measurement of fringe width. So to get beta, fringes are first observed in the field of view of the microscope. Now we set the crosswire one by one on different bright fringes. And note down the micrometer screw reading in each case. So what about the interference pattern obtained in case of biprism experiment, which can be viewed with the help of microscope? Then that means the crosswire of the microscope is set to one of the bright fringe. and take the corresponding reading, and it can be moved to next bird finch and note on the microscopic micrometer reading in each case. Then a fringe width which is equal to distance moved by number of fringes passed. Then this is what about the determination of fringe width, so called beta. So where the interference pattern which can be viewed with the help of microscope. Then we set the cross wire one by one on different bright fringes and note down the micrometer reading in each case. Then with the help of the formula beta is equal to distance moved by number of fringes passed, we can able to determine the fringe width. Then the second measurement of D. This distance between source and eyepiece is directly measured on the optical bench scale, where the optical bench having a scale, so called optical bench scale. With the help of that, we can able to measure the distance between source and eyepiece. So second one, measurement of D, distance between source. So third one, determine the D, small d. To determine D, that means the distance between virtual sources. A lens with a focal length less than 1/4 of the distance between the slit and the eyepiece is mounted between biprism and eyepiece. The lens is adjusted in two positions, L1 and L2, till sharp images are obtained in the field of view of the experience. So the distance D1 and D2 between the real images in two cases are measured. So now you see the diagram, where the lens of focal length less than 1/4 of the distance between a slit and the eyepiece is introduced between a biprism and a screen. If the lens is placed at the position L1, then we will get magnified images of these things. So then note down the distance between the two images, say D1. If the lens is moved towards the screen, if it is at the position L2, then we will get the diminished images. Again note down the distance between the images, say D2. By knowing D1 and D2, we can able to determine the distance between two virtual sources, say small d. So for magnification, M1 is equal to D1 by D, which is equal to U by V. Let this is equation number 1. So for diminished image, M2 is equal to D2 by D, which is equal to V by U. So for first case and then the second case, for a magnified image, for a diminished image. In both the cases, magnification M1 is equal to D1 by D is equal to U by V. Let that is equation number 1. Then a magnification in case of diminished images, M2 is equal to D2 by D, which is equal to V by U. Let this is equation number 2. Multiplying equation 1 and equation 2. then we will get d1 d2 by d square, which is equal to 1. Here u by v into v by u, they get cancel each other, so then it will get 1. So further, the above equation which can be written as d is equal to root of d1 d2. Thus, by knowing the values of d1 and d2, we can able to determine the d, so called the distance between the two virtual coherent sources. By knowing the values of beta, d and g, then we can able to determine the wavelength of light used by using the formula lambda is equal to beta d by d. So the fringe width which can be measured with the help of microscope, with the formula, so number of, that means distance moved by the number of fringes crossed, so based on that. So the capital D distance between the slit and the skin which can be measured with the help of optical bench scale. The scale attached to the optical bench. So then the small distance between the virtual current sources can be determined with the help of a lens introduced between biprism and a screen. So by forming diminished and magnified images. So by knowing the values of beta, d and d, we can able to determine whatever the wavelength of light, that means wavelength of monochromatic light we have used in the biprism experiment. So this is the construction of biprism, the concept of biprism, the working of biprism, then how the wavelength of monochromatic light which can be determined by using biprism experiment. Thank you.